Yeah, I know you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Four Guys in a Mic. I am your Afro-Brazilian Justin. We got our anime lover Josh.
Hey, squad.
We got our food connoisseur, food loving,
the food critic,
the food critic Brian.
What's up, y'all?
And we got Silver.
Whoa! Nah, give me a time.
A young stunner.
We got Silver.
Give me something.
The conspiracy theorist.
I'll take it. All
right, and we got if you read the title, we got a special guest. All right, we've known this person for a while, and we this is actually our first guest on this.
Oh wow!
Congratulations! On this thing. Yeah, congrats.
Woo!
So his name is Steve. He goes by the name of Steve. Steve, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, my name is Steve or Steven, whichever one, I'm also an anime lover, been following it for a long time. I also have an anime YouTube channel, but I'm going to be introducing that later in this video, so special treat for real.
You're good, you sound a little nervous. Speak up.
My voice a little hoarse, you know what I'm saying, today. But anyway,
you don't got Rona, do you?
Chill out.
Wait, what?
Hey, to be honest, we got our mask on in the studio.
No, we don't.
Bro, why are you lying on the mic?
I'm so you dumb.
Hey, come on.
Gee,
weird.
You gotta make sure you gotta be careful before we get canceled.
That's not gonna cancel it.
Hey, that's why we don't got.
If I say some other stuff, that's gonna cancel it.
That will cancel it.
Silver, you're gonna get blacklisted.
My name already. I hope you know your name is already on the list, by the way.
All right, man.
When this new world order kick off, they already got your name on.
So
we're gonna move on. So you guys ready to jump in?
Yeah, man. I'm always ready.
All right, cool. So we're gonna start with our first topic of every episode, and it is what did I peep? And so there's a lot of things that goes on in the world during the week, and we just like to go back, think about what happened, kind of laugh or just talk about some things that are serious that happened during the week. And so we're gonna kick it off with our special guest. And so Steve, we're gonna hand it over to you. What did you peep?
All right, so I was on Twitter. I'm usually on Twitter, but I like to kind of keep a cap on it sometimes because Twitter be OC. But recently, I saw tweets involving the death of this rapper named King Von. He's from Chicago, and I saw the video that actually led up to his death. And so pretty much everybody standing outside this club, and he walked up to this dude and just started like stealing on him for real. And really kind of what I peeped about that was just like your life could end in just like a second, and life is really but a vapor. But you really gotta be thinking about stuff before you do it. Like he didn't think to himself, man, if I steal off on this dude, then his man's is gonna like shoot me. And it's really sad because it's like that's been going on like a lot lately, especially in the hip hop community, where rappers getting shot or killed or whatever they're doing. But it's sad because just that one mistake could just cost you your life. I don't know if he knew the Lord. I mean, I can't make no declaration of that. But it's just really sad to see, some more violence, in the black community. It's just sad. So that's what I peeped for real this week.
How old was he?
26.
Oh, okay. It's really young. It's usually the younger rappers who've been dying.
Yeah,
a lot of the older rappers, probably because they got families, probably because they're a little more seasoned in that area of life. They're probably like
26. That's still like that's young.
Very young.
Like, what was the reason why he started punching him?
It's just an N-word moment. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, it's just like an N-word moment. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like it's just
ignorance.
Beefing with people, it's just stupid stuff.
It makes me think of Black Friday. Most of the time, Black Friday is seen as this time where prices go low and people storm buildings and people get in fights because they're trying to fight over the TV that reduced $200 or $20. And I think it's kind of one of those things where just like this episode's before Black Friday, so you guys be careful as you shop online. But yeah, it's just the recklessness. I'm ready to fight anybody anytime, or people don't really see it as like my life is it's temporary, or like I'm not invincible. And I
feel like as men we had that problem though.
We do. Actually, yeah.
Like if you get mad at something, like if something really just make you mad, I feel like especially depending on where you grew up, you automatically was ready to throw hands.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just you don't think about what the other person want to do to you.
Exactly.
So
yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Like people you really don't know people, bro. Like I've seen
What people are capable of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like people, like there's people that run into people's houses
Yeah, bro.
because they saw you
don't
at the
wanna do that to
club,
Silver.
or
You know, you don't want to do it to Silver.
Yeah,
You
bro.
oh yeah,
don't
yeah.
know what Silver gonna do to you.
Exactly.
You don't know. You know if he got the You don't know.
My guy Silver got a license. He got a license.
Hey,
That's a rap song.
I got
right
a buddy named Roger. He don't like intruders.
But it is kind of weird with that situation because it's like, I don't know why in Atlanta, for some reason, they have less restrictions on COVID than anywhere else. Like, clubs
A lot
in
of
Maryland.
places in the South.
Yeah, it's like, I think to myself, I'm like, dang, could a grander scheme of things be like if the club wasn't even open and he wouldn't have died in the first place? I mean, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Like, why is it like in Atlanta and these southern places, like clubs and everything open, like almost if Corona don't exist? That's just a little tidbit there, but yeah, it's sad though. But anyway,
Sometimes you just gotta walk away.
Yeah, bro.
Think 2 steps ahead before you act.
I think a group full of people and everybody got guns. I don't know what you
It's
expecting.
I think you said the verse last week, Proverbs 28,
Yeah.
25, 28. A man
Yeah.
who does not have rule over us, a man who does not rule his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls.
Mm.
And so we have to like understand, like, control your emotions, man. Like,
I feel like I feel like your environment plays a part in that because if you grew up in a certain environment that I'm not saying they don't have excuses, but basically it's like they just, unfortunately don't like to let people get away with stuff. I think that's where they come from.
Yeah.
But that's stupid. You're absolutely right though. They shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
Anyway, so we're gonna move forward and hop in the comments about that on our Instagram page about just making reckless decisions like that. It's definitely a conversation to have. But anyway, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna enter our main topic of the episode. And so, as you should know, for every episode, to be honest, I'm gonna stop saying that. But we are going to talk about anime, and we're also gonna talk about American cartoons. Are we gonna
Cartoons in general.
just cartoons in general? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna make comparisons. Which one's better? Honestly, there are 3 anime heads over here. I'm probably not gonna be saying anything in this episode. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about anime, American cartoons. Which one's better? Which one do we prefer? And so I guess I'm gonna hand it off to Josh.
Yeah. So as JP was saying, aka Pedro, aka Young Justin, as he was saying, like, we're gonna compare how American cartoons, compared to anime. So, what is the first? I believe the first part is animation and how they are different. What do you think about it, Brian?
I think I want to get into like kind of what anime is, just real quick. Like, this is my best definition of anime. Anime is just it's animated cartoons from the origin of Japan. Culturally, that's what they call it, anime. Kind of like what we have as cartoons in America. That's their version of cartoons for them. And just getting into, I guess, comparing American cartoons and their Japanese style of cartoons, anime. I would say their animation styles is a lot different. Just like any artist who draws or creates, they have different, I don't know, Steve, you could probably talk about this a little more, but kind of different line strokes and different shading that they go into. And you see a lot more diversity in terms of the different styles because everyone is trying to implement different styles depending on the genre of the show itself in anime. We're going to get more into the genres of anime, but usually they just have different strokes, different ways of approaching the designs of characters, whether it's overly colorful or more, gloomy of a setting, or maybe they want to draw certain emphasis on certain parts of the body of the character, whether that be the head or the body, or whether they make them short or tall. The emphasis is dependent on the artist. And same thing with anime cartoons, but I don't know if you guys have any take on that.
It's pretty interesting because I actually saw this this Netflix movie that actually had the history of anime. And after World War II, a lot of the inspirations for anime actually came from American cartoons with Disney, like the eyes. So for instance, you go back and watch like an old cartoon from the 1930s with like Bambi. If you notice, a lot of the eyes and stuff that's actually interesting enough, where a lot of the early animators got the inspiration for the eyes. Now anime is its own thing, but it's kind of weird how stuff kind of came to full circle with that. It's like the inspiration was also Japanese folklore, Japanese, drawings, but also with the eyes and with the expressions, it came from like Disney. And so in general, like the animation is different. Like I'm just going to talk my own personal preference with that. I've barely ever seen cartoons that had the same type of artistic style, with the exception of like Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
However, then I'm kind of thinking that Samurai Jack may also have been inspired by anime. Now he's a samurai, so it's kind of like with a lot of American cartoons, there isn't always just an emphasis on just the style and just the drawings in general. With anime, of course, you're going to see multitudes of different art styles, and sometimes it looks good, sometimes it don't look good. But most of the time, anime is throughout its history have just gotten better with animation. I mean, it's always been something that's detailed emphasis, and cartoons it's kind of like it's made for kids, so obviously it's not going to be a whole lot of detail in that. So that's my kind of opinion about it.
And if you think about it, anime actually has a lot more emphasis than American cartoons. So if you see like a fire blast, not to sound really nerdy, but you see like a fire blast from an American cartoon, like from Firestorm or like X-Men, like you'll see like a normal like fire blast. Anime, they just have a thing where they're just like a huge explosion where it's just fully emphasized. You see the animation is like, the unique, the detail within the flames, and like it's just everything in anime is just really I don't say overemphasized, but it's just really emphasized, whether it comes to introducing characters. It's just this moment in Black Clover, which is also an anime, where the characters actually jumped to one center to meet this other character, and it was just like really emphasized for them to get there. So it's like everything is just really emphasized.
But it's because anime is like it's weird. Like anime in Japan, it's their sitcom TV shows, and it's their Hollywood.
That's true.
So
That's really
for
true.
them, it's like, not saying you won't see Japanese live action, but it's like in Japan, anime is literally the regular TV shows and the full length feature films. So that's their bread and butter for real.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about anime, I'm with. I'm not gonna say it. I don't call Justin by Justin. I call him by his last name, but I'm not gonna call him his last name on the podcast. But
I mean, I kind of said it. Like
We already said
it.
it. So,
I call him Pedro multiple times.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I'm with Pedro on this. Like, I'm not an anime expert. I only watch the hood anime, which is Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh, and Boondocks.
The hood anime.
Which is technically anime. But the only difference I noticed with the animation, I noticed a complete shift with American Dragon, Jake Long. Like, it kind of blew me when I saw it at first. It didn't make me sick because you kind of just ruined the show for me. But it went from like an American style cartoon. I noticed the difference between anime is that the difference is like stuff is somewhat, I don't know the best way I can put, like things are like more sharper.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's more sharper, and so
It's realistic
Mm.
in a way.
I want to say
In terms of
it
the body,
depends, because it could be very exaggerated as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which depends on the artist.
Yeah, and I think just another point on animation is that anime contains a lot more other things that make it have to, I guess, be more detailed in their animation. Like they have more, anime is more likely, well, depending on the genre you're focused on, but usually the more popular animes are usually around for like teenagers. So they're going to have more action scenes. So they're going to focus on creating details of like certain hand movements, certain like a fight, fight scenes. Most cartoons they have fight scenes in some cartoons, but not every cartoon employs very great detail in their fight scenes as compared to animations or interactions or face expressions to really depict the mood and the tone of what the author's trying to convey, while in cartoons it's kind of basic. It's kind of like a basic formula that they kind of follow depending on the artist generally.
And I think you get more of a dire theme when it comes to animation. For example, like you'll see like for cartoons such as Justice League and because I watch a lot of superhero joints, you can kind of look at it and you can kind of tell like this isn't, this is a cartoon. When someone's about to die, like, okay, this is a dying cartoon. Anime, when they're about to die, you're like, oh my gosh, like this person's about to die as though they're real people. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that they're cut up, the way that they're, you know, made, you know, the way they handle animation when it comes to like death, it's just really like.
But also, like, the animation would be dependent upon like what the audience is for.
Yeah,
like for
that's the point.
shonen, which is for teenagers, because that's mainly like the main money maker in Japan is shonen. It's for teenagers and also young adults as well.
Yeah.
But when you look at like an anime like Berserk, which is for basically some mature audiences, you'll have the most gory, disgusting details, like Game of Thrones, for instance. Like, that's the one thing I can compare Berserk to, like Game of Thrones. Even though Game of Thrones is not a cartoon, but if you watch, well, Berserk is worse than Game of Thrones if you know, just get into Berserk. But it just, the animation is going to depend upon what the audience is as well. So if it's more like children, slice of life, stuff tends to be, you know, lighter. If it's shonen, but it may be kind of dark, then you're going to see some more realistic things and blood and gore.
And the girls like dress more OC anime.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
It's very sexualized.
It's very
which is
sexualized.
kind of what turns people off. Like anime is one of those things. Like if you walk in on somebody and they're at the wrong part of the show, depending on the show, you're gonna be like, "Yo, you watching? Like, what are you watching?"
Yeah.
Would you consider like the new DC Teen Titans more animated, like anime style?
No.
Or not?
No.
would
The
say
older
animes.
generation.
But I feel like they receive.
That's what like the new DC thing, like the new DC.
I know what you're talking about.
Some of them, I feel like they get inspiration from anime. I think
Yeah.
because anime is so popular in the West now, that artists who are like American based kind of like receive their.
Avatar is the blueprint for that. You look at
Yeah.
Avatar: Last Airbender. I mean, that's screams anime for real. So
Yeah, so we're gonna get into genre diversity. What do you guys think about the diversity when it comes to the genre with American cartoons and anime?
cartoons don't really have. I mean, it's like diversity, but it's. I would say for anime,
like
depending
a
on what
blueprint.
type of person you are, I believe that there's an anime for literally every type of person.
That's so true.
Like, it's just so much in there that, like, I tell my girlfriend this, like, all the time. I say, look, even though you like watching Love and Hip Hop, even though you like watching, you know, that ratchet stuff, there's an anime that's for you.
Yeah,
Like, no matter what type of person you are. I've seen dudes in the hood say, yeah, like, I like Dragon Ball Z. Like,
exactly.
youngins that be trapping, I'm like, you wouldn't even think they'll watch something like that for real.
Yeah.
So.
Is it the same with American cartoons as well? Wouldn't we say the same thing?
About what?
Like, because he was saying like there's a certain anime for every kind of person.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you also say that there's a certain cartoon for any
I
kind of
cartoons
person
that
as
cut
well?
off because of age.
It's either like you'll get cartoons like Chowder, or like, you know, really childish things. You know, they don't make TV shows like Teen Titans anymore, to be honest. So you get that childish, but you also get this mature, like Boondocks, Family Guy. So I don't think you really get a mix
But
of
the Boondocks
diversity.
is really like, it's anime though. It's from South Korea.
Oh, dang.
It's an anime.
It's an anime.
So yeah, you don't really Family Guy and American Dad. You don't really get that much diversity. You either get the comedy, the funny, or you get the mature, which is also comedy, sexual things.
So go ahead.
Yeah, anime. You have mystery. You have so many different storylines. So many different you like
genres, everything.
video games. They have animes for video games. They have anime for volleyball, basketball. They have anime for crime, everything.
And it could also cater to different ages, what you guys are saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, with like American, in terms of we look at the cartoons aspect, it's like when adults usually get to a certain age in America, they switch over from cartoons to watching something like Game of Thrones or Dexter. Something that, you know, like has something to do with adult content that's more suited for adults, whereby in Japan there's an anime that's for that, literally when you reach that age or whatever type of interest you had. So it's already there because that's all that they, you know, watch.
Yeah, I think when it comes to genre diversity, I think I'm not going to talk too much about the Japanese culture because I'm not too informed about that, but for them, I believe they anime is so popularized in their country for all ages, all demographics, all people of all ages can enjoy it because they dive into many different genres. They don't pigeonhole themselves into a formula of unless the genre, unless it's like a specific type of genre, they don't pigeonhole the entirety of anime into certain genres. With American cartoons, pretty much almost every American cartoon, except for maybe a few, but probably almost every single American cartoon in history has one of their genres being comedy.
Yeah.
Because a cartoon is mainly given to children or even adults to a certain degree, just for the comedy, relief and the jokes and the laughter, and it's looked at something very lighthearted and very innocent most of the time when it comes to American cartoons. While Japanese people, when it comes to creating anime, they dive into deep topics and they dive into horror. They have horror anime. They have historical. They have informational. They have just like Josh was talking about, like action, adventure, comedy. Different animes that are catered to specific age groups, where it's a more mature romantic type of genre, or it's a little more innocent little kid romanticism that happens. And so they go into that a lot, and I feel like the diversity of it makes anime alluring to those who don't want the general comedy show to watch, but they want something animated, but something that dives into more genres than the traditional.
I feel like that where American cartoons are starting to get into that, and the only way they could get into that is with like DC Comics and Marvel, where they're trying to get those the animated movies rolled as far as like if it was a comic, like for instance like Suicide Squad, they'll roll that out into an animated movie, and then that's when they'll have that. And so that's kind of like the new wave now. But
You said Suicide Squad?
yeah,
like DC,
Marvel,
because they have mature themes in their comics.
So is it better than the movie?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But
in my opinion,
I would actually push
the
back on that.
animated DC stuff is better than the movies.
I would actually push back on that because I think they're doing the exact opposite. I think you're seeing more animated, but you're still seeing that wave of comedy and versus
I see what you're saying.
When we were young, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but when we were young, we had more seriousness when it comes to Justice League with the I
think it's becoming more serious now.
I disagree because if you watch shows like Harley Quinn, which recently came out, if you watch shows like
what about
Teen
the movies,
Titans.
Yeah, I think it's about
the movies are, of course, the movies are more serious, but like the TV shows are.
Yeah, the TV shows are more.
But even with American comics, there are certain lines that they just don't cross. So it's kind of like, okay, for instance, like with Batman, right? Batman's never going to kill, and that's kind of like his character trope.
Killed.
But I'm saying like a mainstream,
iterations
like
of it.
in canon. I'm talking about mainstream in canon.
Yeah,
You're generally that's something that they're not really going to.
It's hard to say
just get away from.
American
I mean,
stuff.
yeah, it's kind of
American canon is weird.
yeah, it's weird. But I would say in general, because many of these heroes have certain types of traits, they're not going to get away from that. And so, from a creativity standpoint, that's why you're seeing with American comics a lot of these same type of stories. Whereby with anime, you could have a main character that's good at first, then all of a sudden they take a deep dark
That's a really
turn,
good point.
and then next thing you know, they're like a psychopath.
yeah.
Or like for instance, if you look at like Death Note, where at first he was trying to, I'm just not gonna go on a tangent. Basically, in anime Death Note, he had the power to kill people by writing their name in his book. At first, he kills people who he thinks is like like murderers or serial killers, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then that goes to a whole different aspect where he's just killing people just because like power goes to his head. With Batman, you're just not really gonna see that.
I think because they keep trying to reuse the same stories.
Yeah,
So,
or trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, anime. Once you see a show, you're not going to see the same character ever again.
But Batman's been around for almost 80 years
You
now.
sure about that? It depends on the genre.
Which
I think anime has more genres, but when it comes to the genre, I feel like with any type of art, when you're in a certain genre, you're gonna see repetitiveness or redundancy. With anime, certain genres, especially shonen, which is catered to young teens and young adults, the protagonists are pretty much all similar in some way or shape or form. Either they're dumb or they're made to be street
Nice.
smart but
Kind.
not book smart, dense, imbeciles. They have a couple of love interests in the show. It's kind of like a formula.
I do feel like though, like the new generation shonens coming up, they're trying to do things differently. I feel like they're trying like I'm gonna be real with you. Like Naruto is deeper than Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? One Piece
A lot of
is
shows
deeper.
are.
Like it's deeper. Whereby you had Dragon Ball Z
better.
where it was like
But Dragon Ball Z is goated because of its
because
the
before its time.
It's the
but I'm saying like, but if you look at like Naruto compared to Dragon Ball Z, with Naruto you learn like a whole lot of life lessons and a lot of deep philosophical things. Where in Dragon Ball Z, although I love the show, it's like you know what you gonna get when you watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be a whole lot of philosophical, deep meaning things going on. You know what Goku is about. You know what he gonna do. But in One Piece, even though I haven't got into it, people tell me it's philosophical, so I have to catch up with
No,
it.
don't, Steve. No need to watch One Piece.
No, One Piece is
No.
Says the guy who doesn't care.
No,
about
America.
anime.
I'm not gonna limit ourselves to America. Maybe someone in Tanzania. So America and Tanzania, for those who are listening in Tanzania, don't watch One Piece. I started watching One Piece in 2005.
Hey,
no.
If we get canceled, it's gonna be because of that statement right there.
I started watching One Piece in 2005 strictly because I heard the theme of the song after Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I was like, oh, this ain't tough, right? No, okay, let me watch this joint. Then after I gave it like maybe 2 months. These youngers, they rap too much. It's not enough rapping. It's not enough scrapping. It's just too much rapping. It's 15 years down the line? It has not ended. He's telling me it taken 15 plus years to find this treasure?
It's a lot of deepness to it.
No, it's not.
But we're not saying rap.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Is it philosophical?
Yeah, it is. It has a lot of
I'm
meaning.
still at episode 3. I promise you I'm gonna catch up.
Hey, I mean, some shows take longer to get into.
Yeah, I agree. So just for the sake of time, let's move on. We're gonna talk about plot and themes. Like, what do you guys think about the difference between the plot and themes when it comes to American cartoons and anime?
I mean, with cartoons, it's like every episode is not every episode is like connected. You'll have very few times where continuation. So if we watch a show, it'll like cartoons like Ed and Eddie. It'll be a completely different day, a new plot. Cartoons tend to be centered on one plot from start to finish to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Like he just said with One Piece, the plot could last 15 years.
That's true.
20 years.
You still got 5 more years. 2020, we still got 5 more years.
I know for a fact, like, I love Black Clover, but I know for a fact Black Clover won't probably conclude till I'm like 34.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's good for me as a fan.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's bad. I like that. But it's kind of like the plot. And also, sometimes the plot is very, like, complicated with anime. Sometimes you think this is the big bad villain, and all of a sudden something else come out the cut.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, what? And then all of a sudden, like, maybe the person that was close to the main protagonist is real close friend and he betrays him or something like that. You're like, yo, this is wild.
Yeah.
So
you can gotta say, like, anime. Me as someone who watch American cartoons and anime, I feel like anime has a lot deeper themes and a lot deeper plots, because just like you're saying, like, you have meanings. You have. I don't say American cartoons don't have meaning, because they do.
Traditionally, they don't. But
it's made for kids too. Like, kids don't have the attention span for that.
That's a really good point. I feel like, yeah, exactly. Their messages are I don't say surface level, but like, do good.
It's made to get to you in 30 minutes flat. If a kid watches in 30 minutes, they're gonna get that. Yeah,
something like Death Note. That's something you have to actually analyze.
Well, anime you have to get invested in.
Yeah, you have to analyze that joint, because it's never a clear answer. It's never that it's a good character and a bad character. I'm gonna root for the good character. Sometimes it's just the character, and you're like, dang, like a lot of things that you do, or even the villain, like Pain. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but the character Pain in Naruto, yeah, like he was seen as the villain, but it's more complex than that. So you have more deepness, you have more things that you need to analyze versus American cartoons. It's just like good and bad.
With like American comics, the villains are the villains.
Yeah, exactly.
There isn't always the gray area with a lot of these villains. Joker's gonna be Joker. Thanos gonna be Thanos.
Not all American culture. So I feel like traditionally, because cartoons are catered for children, they only focus on episodic daily lessons that kids can learn, like, how to make up with your friends and how to not lie, or how to, things like that. And I think anime, because it's so diverse in its who can watch it, depending on the genre, they have more deeper lessons and more deeper themes. But I feel like there are some cartoons that do break that mold, like Avatar. Avatar is a kid's show, but it dives into themes like genocide and cultural norms, anarchy, discrimination.
But that's why I feel like it's more like an anime, though. That's why
I feel like it got inspiration from anime, and that's the thing. I feel like traditionally cartoons are made a certain way, but when they get inspiration or dive into, I feel like American artists and producers and whatever the case can be, can create cartoons in the same way anime is created, but I think in Japan they started off way earlier with doing that. While we're just so used to making cartoons for kids and making it comedy, I feel like America is starting to open that envelope. Like that's why a lot of more,
trying to be more complex.
yeah, a lot of more cartoons or things on Netflix or comic book stuff are more like rated mature, or they're trying to explore that realm of maturity with animation by making it more explicit.
I feel like anime is just a cartoon version of what we have as regular TV shows. You see the maturity in regular TV shows. Like I haven't seen this show, but like Riverdale or The Flash. Like you see all those elements that you want.
Black Panther.
No.
Did they have a cartoon of that?
No.
Okay.
But you see those things in and more you see the deeper meanings in the actual human TV shows, not necessarily the cartoons. Anime, you get both. You get the cartoons, but you also get the deepness that you get from Western TV shows.
But also with like Western TV shows, and I guess we kind of mix the comics in there as well. It's like with anime, this is why I noticed the difference. The main protagonist is usually built up by the people that's like around him.
Yeah.
Already kind of like put together. With comics, you kind of don't find that a lot. Like Superman can stand on his own without Lois Lane or like the Justice League as far as who he is as a person, who Superman is. That's who he's going to be. And it's kind of like that's kind of thing that I feel like personally me that's missing with, I guess you can mix in comics or whatever it is with cartoons. The main characters, like, they don't have a whole cast or crew that make them who they are as a person. Now, there are some exceptions to that, like Spider-Man. Or, Spider-Man was a teenager. Obviously, Uncle Ben, the classic saying, what's that, power comes responsibility, or some crap like that.
No, that's not crap.
But anyway, great power comes with great responsibility. But it's kind of like there's not a whole crew around them that make them who they are. It's just like literally maybe one person. So for Superman, it's like his parents. Whereby with anime, you look at with One Piece or Naruto.
He has his own crew.
He got a whole crew that make, and I feel like that's related to real life. A lot of people in your life are going to build you up.
Can I just make this one point? I've noticed from the few animes that I have watched, there's always a number one. He's always like the fun-loving guy. And the number two, he always number two, and he has like
His edge.
Yeah.
Edge. He doesn't like to show any that type of emotion.
Yeah, Vegeta, Sasuke,
Kaiba. Who else
Wait.
we got? I don't know. That's the only anime I watch.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people like a lot of things, animes like that.
Is it a common thing?
It is.
It's
usually because it's shown.
It's called a trope. A trope is like typecast, basic principles that an anime is going to follow to kind of like, because certain stuff that works,
Yeah.
So it's
Like all these youngsters deal with rejection, bro.
And that's just a specific genre, which is shonen. There, with outside the genre, you won't see that all the time. So it's mostly
sometimes the
seen
side
in shonen.
character would be better than the main character.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's because shonen is what made anime I believe made anime popular in the West.
Yeah.
Because those all the shonen animes or mecha animes like Gundam. They're like
Gundam.
it was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is like the old head of all shonen animes, like
Sailor
the
Moon
fighting
too.
scenes, like
JoJo
we're just
Bizarre
gonna punch you in the face and
Yeah.
it's gonna be bleeding, and then, Goku when he goes Kaioken times 20 against Vegeta,
Whoa!
9,000, like everybody know that joint.
I feel like like with American cartoons, it's just not that. There's still not that complexity all the way there.
So as people who don't really watch anime like that, like what do you guys think about like the American cartoons and what you've heard about anime? Like what do you guys think?
One thing I do realize from back in the day, anime was not cool to watch at all. Like youngins who
People would hide that they watched it.
Yeah.
Undercover anime fans.
Watched it.
boy, you whiter than
What you watching?
weirdo. People goth on them, but
There was actually a video like that. So it was like he was a bully would make fun of you for watching anime, but then he'll come back years later and be like, "Hey, dude, the anime you was talking about is pretty cool. It's pretty hard, man."
It's all like the gospel, bro.
what was the question again?
What do you like? People who have not watched anime, like things that you heard compared to like what you've seen in American cartoons, like
Like
what?
You want to answer the question, Liz? Or
No, you can go.
the one thing I do, this is the main reason why I don't watch anime is subtitles. Like I don't.
Oh yeah.
So,
You have to have the Sharingan. I'm
You
just
said
saying.
what?
You have to have the Sharingan.
A
I
shot.
don't know how. Yeah.
What is that?
Nothing
at all.
Inside.
That is the most.
I don't know.
Oh no,
Sorry.
no, yeah, bro. Like me personally, like I'm not reading while watching. It defeats the whole purpose of watching. I have to read.
Yeah.
And so if I sneeze or blink or gotta take a bite to eat and I gotta look down, guess what? I just missed the whole 2 sentences.
You gotta restart it.
No, I don't.
You
I
can
mean,
watch a dub.
And
Watch dub.
it's kind of weird that you say that because it's like I only specifically watch subtitles, and the reason why
Same.
is because the Japanese voice actors
A lot better.
they're a lot better than American voice actors because literally you think about this in Japan,
Well, better in terms of like
emotion.
it's the original. They're the original voice actors
I
on
mean,
the show.
I'm just not.
Not to say they're-
I'm not used. When I heard Dragon Ball Z sub, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, nah, but
But now the voice actors got a lot better.
It
It's
did.
got
yeah.
better.
It's gotten a whole lot better. They're more like literally like they're trained. People go to school for this.
Yeah.
So,
I think for me, I think crazy. I mean, fun fact. Me and my sibling, before we left to Nigeria, I left to Nigeria when I was really young. We used to actually watch Yu Yu
Hakusho.
and Dragon Ball Z. We should watch Adult Swim when they used to
Dang.
show a lot of the animes, but that was a long time ago, so I kind of
In
fell off
Nigeria?
it. No, before I left,
before you left.
yeah, because we didn't have like cartoon in Nigeria. but I think for me, what I used to think about anime after I came back, because I kind of forgot about it before when I was younger. I think a lot of the things that I thought about it was that people would usually watch it for like sexual, like sexual,
Some
to
weird
get sexual
pervs.
content.
Weird pervs, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I always thought about. Yeah, so that's something that's one of the reasons why I kind of veered off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a buddy. He in the military. Say he went to Japan. He said like they got actual like shops and like
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
so-
yeah.
I feel like that's one of kind of like, for me, when I guess with shonen's kind of like, at least the newer ones that I've watched, they're getting a lot better with that. Because I feel like that's kind of one thing to keep your audiences interested. But yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. Because I'm actually on this group chat for these YouTubers, and they do anime as well. And I ain't gonna hold you, they are some perverts, man. I ain't gonna hold you. They really are.
Yeah, I think anime culture is
Weird.
can be perverted, especially with the popular animes being that they're catered to teenagers and young adults. They do purposely part of the genre make it perverted at times, which is why I would say always be careful of what you're watching, because it can be. Not all are like that, and not all are as perverted as some may think, but. Because we're not gonna, I'm not gonna say the whole culture of anime is perverted, but artistically, you could say that American culture, when it comes to certain TV shows, are too violent or too. They're rated R for no reason. They add sexual content to every movie just to make it mature when it had nothing to do with the plot. So I think that's just a human race type of thing. We like to add sexual content for some odd reason to everything.
Sex sells.
It's fan service. It's sex sells.
Sometimes they think
Yeah, sometimes it's taken too far.
So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time, I think we're about to close out. But I did want to do one thing because like I said, I'm the anime guy. If you can name one recommendation of anime, what would you name?
Watch Hunter x Hunter. I would say Naruto, but that might be too long for some people.
Yeah, I think my recommendation would just be One Piece.
You already know, man. I mostly review Black Clover. I love this series. I really believe it's next up. So I'm gonna say Black Clover to get into it. Maybe skip past the first few episodes and just read the manga and get right into it.
Tell us your YouTube.
Oh yeah. Let me real quick. So I started up this YouTube channel in May. It's called Anime Mega Reviews. And praise God, I got to 1,000 subscribers. I did it really fast. So now I'm about 1,117. So mostly I just review Black Clover. But I'm getting into other animes, trying to get bigger. So I enjoy it. It's something that I think is my passion. I want to be getting into other animes as well. So just go on YouTube and type in Anime Mega Reviews. you're gonna see my logo. It low key look like the Marvel symbol too, like it really does. So
Right.
I also have an Instagram as well. So, but if you guys go to my videos and click on one of them, my social media is gonna be on there anyway.
Description.
So if you love Black Clover or just want to support, you know, a young YouTuber just trying to get
Young
to the
black
game,
YouTuber.
young black YouTuber. I noticed real quick, there are a lot of new like black YouTubers getting into it with anime now, like a lot of them. So I'm happy to see that, but at the same time, you know, I gotta be like Kobe had that mama mentality. I gotta be competitive at the same time.
Steve, can I ask you one question? Since you are the anime aspect, right? You are the anime guru, right? Professionally, correct?
I'm getting there.
Can I ask you one question? Because is Goku a good father?
Oh, not tonight.
One word answer.
One word answer.
One word answer.
One sentence.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, because he provides for his family by protecting the world.
All right, there we go.
No, not
tonight. Not tonight.
One statement.
Go ahead, bro.
He died for his son twice when his son could have stopped it.
Go for the trash.
All right, so that's where we're gonna end. That's where we're gonna end our anime stuff. I learned a lot. I hope you guys did as well. Steve, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
We definitely gotta have you back on another episode.
Most definitely.
And
appreciate the love, y'all. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, definitely. And so we are ending off every episode with a quote, and hopefully it's somewhat inspirational for you guys. And so I'm gonna hand it off to Josh. What's our quote for this week?
So we actually get a quote from Naruto, since it's an anime episode, and it's from Nagato, or Pain, aka Pain. And it says.
Sorry, before you say the quote, just a little backstory. We always go on Josh. Every time you hear Josh make a quote, before while we were planning, we're always going on this quote.
Arguing for 20 minutes.
About this quote, bro.
They just don't like my quotes. It's because I like anime. That's what it is. And so it says, if you don't share someone's pain, you can never understand them.
And that's a good quote.
Yeah, so good. Thank you.
We had to get him there.
End it right there.
We had to get him there.
Understand people's pain. That's all I'm saying.
And one last thing, if you have any questions, if you have any topics that you may want us to talk about, just hit us up on the inbox on the Instagram at 4 Guys and a Mic. And we may, even though you may leave a recommendation, we may respond or choose the episode keyword may. The month before June, month after April, we may do it. So feel free though. We appreciate the feedback.
Great. And so that's where we're ending our episode tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a review, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Deuces. See y'all.
I would love to go collect my phone.